cool. It's the little things that keep us going. So we'll just wait for a couple people to pop on. Adrian.
It's like on the television says 3, 2, 1.
That's right. And you're live. It's perfect. Let me get this on your timeline. And people are just going to take a second to start popping on and seeing us here. Beautiful. Looks like some people are popping in here. Awesome. We have a super exciting topic this week. I know we had brought it up. We brought it up last week. What is it? What are we going to start talking about? And we're moving into a full discussion, well, partial full discussion about what is a Stargate. And I know that there's a lot of miscommunication and misunderstandings about what a Stargate truly is. How do we access these? And can we feel them in the body, Colin? So let's talk about what a Stargate is. And I'm just really excited to hear how you break this down for us, because I love how you explain in very simple terms to comprehend. You're able to break down pretty complex science into a way that is really easily digested. So I can't wait to hear about this. Welcome, everybody. I'm so happy that you're here. We're so glad to see you. Good morning. Hello, Sue and David, CJ, Dan, Rebecca, Debbie, Lyndon, Michelle. Beautiful. Beautiful to see everybody here. Thank you so much. And it's great to see you, Colin. I feel blessed because I got to see you earlier this morning as well. So I was up extra early, but I loved your class this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I was hoping and always, from my point of view, I'm always conscious of talking over the heads of people, you know. Sometimes people look at me like, what are you talking about?
I always say the language, we'll catch up with the language. I think, it's just a matter of speaking it and using the appropriate terminology. That's how our children learn to speak. And so that's how we'll relearn what we are and how it works.
Yeah. But it's more energy.
Yes.
And these pictures, and people visualize what I'm telling them and how they relate that to their own energy bodies. It's about energy.
Beautiful. We have a little bit of a delay, so I apologize for that. If I didn't seem to respond quickly, it's there's just a slight delay over here. So beautiful.
Okay. Ready to go whenever you are.
I'm ready. I think we can't really do too much about the delay, so we'll just make note between you and I that there is an interesting delay here happening. So it'll work itself out.
Yeah, let's get on to this topic of Stargates. It's a vast topic that I'm just going to cover the essential understanding of what Stargates are and how they work, so that people don't think of something science fictional, but actually can relate to it from an energy point. Basically, a Stargate is a vortex. Okay, and it's a vortex that works in a particular way at frequency and has a certain, because that's what a vortex is. A vortex is a spiral. It has a certain way of spiraling out and spiraling back in again. A Stargate is also a portal, and a portal portal between two. So it's not just about walking in, going through one set and coming out at a place. Stargates actually connect to each other like our cell phones. When you connect cell phone, number reaches a specific frequency with a specific phone, and then that phone rings the phone, and so the people connect because they are on the same frequency. Okay, so in Stargates just work on the same basis. It's point to point interconnected portals. Now, we don't experience on this planet, but we have many stargates. Now, a simple way of understanding the stargate: when you pull a plug out of your bathtub, the water creates, that vortex goes down. That plug is drawing down the water, and it goes in. And the Stargate, it's pretty much on the same way, except you've got a portal-to-portal connection. So it's not just the one-way traffic. It's not just going down the plug hole. It's also coming up the hole. In fact, if you look at the science of vortexes, the water going down the plug hole is also creating a spiraling energy force that balances the rate at which the water goes down into the plug hole. So, in a sense, it is a portal Stargate. Now, vortex mechanics works on the basis that everything is in constant motion. Nothing ever is stationary. We might think that we are sitting at a point in time and we should be considered in the park, we sleep at night, and we lie stationary. But we're not actually stationary, because every year we travel 948 kilometers around the sun. We are not aware that we're so far in time and space. Every day, every 24 hours, we might travel 34,000 miles in one night, because we're at the equator, and that's the diameter of the equator. So you travel 34,000 miles in one day. That's just the rotation of the Earth. Then you've got the rotation of the Earth around the Sun, or the circulation of the Earth around the Sun, and in constant motion, and the universe is spiraling. So we don't just circle around the Sun, we spiral around, and all the planets are spiraling, everything, the entire universe. What we see as stars up there, they're all spiraling. And that motion of spiraling creates energy. And that energy is able to suck in or spit out. Okay? Whatever goes into the portal. Now, we should also understand that another of the Stargate that people don't really understand is that when you enter a Stargate and you go through the Stargate, you are portaled somewhere else, but your consciousness is portaled, not necessarily your body. But your body holds the template, it holds the information of the DNA in your body. So when you get portaled somewhere else, you appear on the other side with the body, because your body is a function of your consciousness. So you carry the information of our bodies. So where your consciousness goes, you can create a body. So a portal between, say, a density 1 Stargate and go to a density 2 Stargate. When you get to the density 2 Stargate, your body is now density 2 form. which is semispheric. You no longer physical matter, you matter. It's also called plasma. And so the plasma is less dense than physical matter. So you step from one portal to the other. And stargates are the means whereby soul beings in the universe can travel from one place to the other. Okay? And that connection is instantaneous. Now, what makes it instantaneous is if you look at the vortex of a tornado, for instance, in the center of the tornado, it's got something called the still point. And the still point, if you stand in the still point of the tornado, you can have absolute chaos spinning around you, but it won't affect you because you're in the still point. Now, every vortex is the still point. And when you are traveling from one portal to the other, you are to the still point. Now, in science, it's the still point based off no time and no space. So it's also called space of no thing, nothing. And that nothingness holds all the information of everything. That's very difficult to understand. In the mechanics of the universe, that's how it works. Everything comes from nothing. So in order to know everything, you know nothing. That's what
When
is paradox.
I think to know nothing, that's perfect. When I started to understand, and this will be a question that I ask in a second here, of whether or not I'm going to ask whether I'm asking whether or not a portal and a Stargate are different. And for me to begin to understand what a vortex feels like, for me to sit in the middle of a vortex, what I did was I took 6 pieces of selenite and I pointed them to each other. So there it would kind of look like a star. A 6, and like the things would come out, so they would all point together, all like one would cross the other, so there were always one across from the other, which created a vortex. So I made it really big. So I energetically, with my mind powers, so in my imagination, I amped it up. I imagined the particles moving faster. Now I stood on the outside of this vortex to feel, because I'm energy sensitive, so I felt, woo, it's a little woozy out here. But then I went into the inside and amped it up, and it was very, very calm and still. I felt like I could just stay in there and meditate, or breathe, just take a break. And so for those of you that want to just kind of feel maybe what, if you're sensitive and work with crystals, just kind of feel what a vortex would feel like, then you'll have an idea of what it feels like to master these in the body as we're moving forward and talking about this. You just kind of get an idea of what the concept feels like. But is a portal different than a Stargate?
No, a Stargate's just another name for a portal. We call them Stargates because they used to be a gateway to the stars. Because we have 12 planetary stargates on Earth, and each one of those planetary stargates is connected to a universal or galactic star, which is a stargate in another star system or planetary system. And I won't go through what all the how it all works, because there's certain planets that and stars that, for instance, like Stargate in Giza connects to Mars, and it's one other planet. So it just used to be the way conscious soul beings are able to move their consciousness from one space-time continuum and from one dimension to the other. Now, I talk about this as if it's science, but it's not. to be to experience around the universe through these portals, and they are very real. In the secret space program are now telling us, the guys, the whistleblowers, are telling us that they were able to travel from one end space to another, and it was instantaneous. It's and that is when you go through that still point of the vortex of the wormhole, you are going through no time, no space. So there's nothing there, and it continuously. It's like electrical cable. You know, we've been told that electrons flow down the cable, and that's what creates electricity. But it's not. It's the magnetic field, electromagnetic field, that's created the around the wires. You get a positive and a negative. A positive is electric, a negative is magnetic. It's the electromagnetic that cable actually transports it. So when you flick the light switch, the light comes on instantaneously because it's connected through this electromagnetic wave field. The portals work in the same way that to a portal, you connect up and you are since you transformed, transported, transmuted into the next dimension. And there's certain things that happen to you as you travel along the highway, and there's certain things that have to happen before you can enter. You can't just enter Stargate. There are something called Q sites. Now, what's a Q site? A Q site is they located on our planet in a certain way around Stargates. Now, all Stargates on our planet are connected through the grid lines on our planet. There's a grid system, they ley lines, and they connect all the Stargates on our planet. Then we have certain sites that have certain frequency connection to a Stargate. And they're still pylon grids that are very deep into the Earth. And through this pylon grid, you are able to do what they call a dial-up sequence. It's like connecting on a cell phone. You push the buttons you want to connect to and connect to where you want to. So to pass Stargate, you have to activate the portal and activate the Q site, and the needs certain dial-up sequence in order to transport where you want to go. So if you know where you want to go, know what the dial-up sequence is for where you want to go, you go to the Q site and you do the turning and do what the energy work that's necessary, because it's all about energy. You know, your finger's pushing a button, it's energy, your finger, which is energy pushing buttons, connecting to your consciousness and your logic and your ability to be sentient. And that creates the energy to connect you. So the same thing with the Q site. You have to be energetic and you must open what you're into and what that is for that dial-up code. And that's up the codes for you to enter the spot, and then it will get you to exactly where you want to go, to wherever you've dialed up. Now, in Ascension, what used to happen, these certain Stargates would all activate at the same time, and it was a time when humans had a window of opportunity to go through these portals and ascend. Now, in this dispensation, that because the Stargates, many of them are under control by the dark forces, and many of the Q sites, purpose of that, they don't work anymore, because what they've done in these they let off explosives around these crystal particles and they crack them so that they no longer operate. And some of them go to Mother Earth, these crystal particles. So when I was doing my grid work, I was acting between a portal in a Q site in Basra that was the activation site for the Stargate in the North Pole, the South Pole, Antarctica. And that ley line being Basra and had a certain frequency, a unique dial-up sequence. So, and I had to know what those frequencies were and run those frequencies through my soul body. So in a sense, I was anchoring energy, information coming from the Q site through my body, processing it, changing the information in order to change the energy that was going through the entire portal. Because we're all portals, really. For instance, our chakras are, in a sense, stargates as well. They're just ways we portal energy through our bodies. It's in, it goes in one door, comes out the other door. It goes out, comes back in, goes out, comes back in, goes out, comes back in. And so we've got this spiraling of energy of our bodies through these various energy points we call chakras. Then, in order to pass through the portal, we have to have secure antimatter body. Now, the antimatter body is our bodies in the parallel reality fields. And we've talked a bit about this before, and it's like looking into a mirror. You are matter, you look into a mirror, you see your image in the mirror, and that image is antimatter. It's not matter, but it reflects. So it's a parallel but opposite world. And in the universe, this parallelism is very important. It's like looking at a kaleidoscope. It has a kaleidoscope, which is just a tube with a mirror down the center, and you can look at various little images and geometric shapes on the other side, and it gets reflected off the mirror in order to create our image. And that is part of the holistic, the hologram, so sides of the story. So in our travels through the portal, not only do we have our matter body in shape, we have to have antimatter body in shape as well, so that we can be safely portaled to the other side. Now, we can't deal with antimatter body here because we can't even deal with matter bodies. We are severely weak as a species, as a soul species, and angelic species. So we need a lot of work to try to raise and strengthen our soul energy bodies so that we stand this and we can then pass through the stargates. But in this New Testament, the stargates are not going to be used. What they're going to do is stargates in the sun. Now, the sun also has stargates. It has 12 stargate systems that we have. Planetary Stargates, solar stargates, galactic stargates, and universal stargates. And it's referred to a space-time continuum based on the consciousness of the people. So some of our gates connecting to Sirius B, why Sirius B? Because the beings in Sirius A and B contributed A to the humans on this planet. Humans have a connection, so in a sense we are protected to other beings in certain other space-time continuum, and it's in our DNA because they contribute their DNA to our species. So many of us hold the DNA in our soul codes that comes with our DNA that was provided by the highest self.
Okay, sorry. We're having pretty significant sound issues. People are saying, like, I can hear you perfect. You're actually coming through perfect for me. But it looks like for our listeners, they're having a very challenging time with it breaking up. So I'm just going to take a second to like chat here and kind of. I'm going to see, Colin, a great idea. Colin, do you think you can refresh your page or maybe come out and come back in just to see if that like reconnects you for people?
Okay.
Thank you. I'll be right here just in case. Beautiful, beautiful chat.